No, that's fine. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Here we are in person.
Oh my God.
Because we always do this like in our own houses and we live like a
Right.
mile apart. So we decided.
You live up the street, but we always are kind of like coming and going. But
yeah.
This is the holiday week for the kids. And so we were like, you know what? Let's do it in person. And I think for this topic, it's a good one to do in person.
Yes.
Because we're touching on a lot.
Yeah, a lot of things, which are very specifically hey girl conversations. Mm-hmm. So today we're talking about when the strong one gets tired. And what do we do, like, as wives, as mothers, as women in the world? Like, there's so much that I think we deal with that we never really talk about, and we decompress about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're just going to have a conversation today with no guest, just the two of us.
Just us.
And a conversation about being
real,
women.
Candid. Women's health. Women have the highest rate of autoimmune diseases. And more so than men. And I think a lot of the reason is because we carry this weight on us that nobody is able to see. So we wanted to talk about today, like, how can we do the things, but not get to the point where we're like literally possibly killing ourselves doing it.
Well, let me tell you. So the year I got divorced, it was a lot, obviously. I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. It's a really challenging experience, but also, like, my husband left and I had 4 kids and I had a career. And one night an ambulance was at my next door neighbor's house and he had collapsed and he ended up going to the hospital and everything's okay, thank goodness. But I was like, what happened? He's like, I'm just exhausted. Like, you know, being a dad and having a career. And I was like, oh, he has 3 kids, a wife. And I was like, oh, I might die messing around trying to do all of this. And my sister, who's a nurse, she's like, yeah, women are all mid to late 30s. A lot of women are in the hospital with exhaustion.
Yeah.
Like, it's a real thing. So, like, how do we manage that? Like, what do you do? What are some things that you do or that you found over the years help you to, like, manage stress and the day-to-day life of being all of the things?
All of the things. So one thing that my psychologist and I have talked about before, because we've talked about this, like, how can you become yourself again without getting to the point where, you know, everybody becomes everything except for you. And so we had these graphs, we had these 5 graphs, and she was like, okay, what do you do for your mind? What do you do for your body? What do you do spiritually? What do you do about your feelings? And the last column was about your inner child. She was like, what do you do for your inner child? To have fun, to be free. And I had all of the other 4 columns filled except for that one. And what I realized is that I became so tied up. And even though I do work out, like, we see each other at the gym.
And she is committed. Like, you are at the gym before the rooster crows. Girl.
A lot of times I am. And, you know, I was naming all of these things that I do for self-care. And I never was able to name something that I actually do for play, for fun, just to, like, take the edge off. And so I think a lot of us, we walk around and we have our lives, but there's no fun. And so I'm trying right now, to get back to that. And, you know, you got me the book about
The Artist's Way.
The Artist's Way.
The Artist's Way is one of my favorite.
And I think you're helping me do that, but, you know, so, you know, trying to do the book and the coloring and, like, the dating yourself, you know, all of these things to get back to that.
Well, and those take time. Like for me, I think like I need a moment. Well, first of all, you said something that I think we kind of s- just kind of skirted past, which is your psychologist. So you're taking the time to like decompress and to understand, and I think that's really important. Therapy is so important. Um, but yeah, fun doesn't necessarily mean like I remember when my kids were little, my ex-husband would be like, "Go out, go have a good time, like enjoy yourself, and I'll take care of the kids." And then I'd come home and I'd be like tired, the house is a mess, and I was like, that wasn't enjoyable to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, if you want to help, you can leave.
Right.
Take the kids and like go to the park for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to be in my clean home
Mm-hmm.
by myself and read a book
In the quiet.
in the
In the
quiet.
quiet.
Just a moment. I don't want a weekend of it. I want an hour
Mm-hmm.
of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so finding that balance and knowing that that's what you need. Like I think maybe a lot of us don't even know that that's what we need. The artist way I found, I think I was like 19 when I first did it, and I've done it every year for the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I love it. It's a 12-week program, and you sign a contract with yourself
Mm-hmm.
to have an artist day once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a reminder to like invest in your own pleasure. And it's something, it could be as silly as coloring. I use my work as an actor. An audition is like, I have an opportunity to play. That's my like joy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about my job. Because otherwise, it's just another thing to do in between helping
Right.
my kids with college applications and doing the laundry and cooking and cleaning and running everybody around.
Right. And one thing, like what you just said, a lot of people don't associate job and love in the
Yes.
same sentence. So the
Yes.
fact that you can say, I love my job and I love doing this,
I'm very grateful.
that is a healthy, you have a healthy respect for the work that you do. It's not, like you're dreading to do it every day,
Yeah.
like a lot of people.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't know, like I've never lived in that world, so I don't know how. I guess you have to find those moments of like what is joy to
mhm,
you,
mhm,
that's maybe outside of your work,
right.
or finding the joy at your work. Maybe it
Yeah,
means you cook,
that,
you make cookies for your
that,
colleagues or something. Like you could find that joy.
right. So I was telling someone, I work in healthcare. I work around people who are sick, who are not in their own home. They're in a hospital, they're trying to get better, they're trying to walk again, whatever may be the case. And I can't come to work and be this frumpy, sad
Right.
person. Like, I have to find whatever little bit of joy that I have in my heart for that day, for that moment. I have to pull that out
Mm-hmm.
and offer that to somebody else. And I think sometimes doing that, like even if you're not in a good space, finding the joy to give someone else can put you in a better space.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's
Or,
a really
doing
healthy.
something small to help someone else, like that can actually uplift your spirits. And I think a lot of people, including myself, if you're going through something, you're like, down and out, but you don't think about like, oh, finding joy to help others is what's going to help me too.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's really powerful. And
Mhm.
it's quite a spiritual perspective.
Absolutely.
I think it's also like what as parents we naturally like we do for our kids because we love them.
Mhm.
And it is overwhelming, but like you're not going to not do things because you find joy in them.
Mhm.
There's this trend a while back. I don't know if your kids ever did this, but like you go to like a drive-through and they're like, "Oh, it's 26.50 or something," and your kid goes, "Oh, that's not bad." And they record you, and like parents are like,
Like what?
You are not paying for this. And it's funny because my kids do that to me, and I was like, I had at first like, excuse me,
Right?
and then I literally immediately was like, it's an honor to be able to provide, because it is.
Mhm.
It really is. Like I do think about that sometimes. Like sometimes you're really overwhelmed with like all of the things that you have to be responsible for, and then be like, I could take the perspective of I might not be able to be in this position, but I
Right.
am.
Right.
So finding that like value and being like, oh, I feel really grateful
The
that
gratitude.
the gratitude.
The gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was listening to a pastor this morning. He was like, when we're looking for the time and the energy to do all of the things that we need to do in our life, he was like, Second Peter 1 verse 3 says, His divine power has given us everything we need for a godly life.
Mm.
It's given us the time, it's given us the strength, the capability, to be a good friend, to be a good person, to be a good wife. It's God's giving us that. And so when you think about it and you think about like that scripture or just like whatever God has put in the Bible for us to like read and go by, He does say He's going to supply our every need.
Yeah.
And that includes the time that we need to do the things for ourselves and others.
And I love that you brought up scripture, because everyone says, oh, there's no book, there's no rules. There's a whole book.
Yeah.
It's been around. And there's a lot of really good advice in it. And I think so, like a moment of like daily scripture and like getting in the word, I'm a big believer in that.
Right.
And like the just the power of prayer and like whatever new age version of that you want to experience, whether it's meditation or just time alone or reflection or journaling. But for me and for you, I know it's like prayer and getting in the word and scripture and understanding all the gifts that God has provided us.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
What is something that maybe you've gone through your life and you've thought about yourself that other people don't necessarily think?
That's such a great question.
Like something kind of like maybe negative that like, oh, I'm not this or I'm not good enough to, like what is something that everybody else doesn't necessarily think about, but you do?
About me?
About you.
I think the general perspective is that like, I think this is in general about everybody. Everybody thinks everybody else's journey is easy. And I do think an outside perspective is like, yeah, but you have, or yeah, but you can. And I actually I love to read biographies for this very reason.
You were telling me that the other day, yeah.
Because there's inevitably a thread that's a human experience that people, and again, it's like, I was telling you this, like Rick Ross to Michelle Obama to Tina Fey to, I'm reading Gucci Mane's book right now. Like there's a common thought that like everybody's against me. Nobody wants me to succeed. And it's just not true. People don't go around thinking about you like that. And your life, everybody's life is hard.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it is. People go, oh, you only have one kid. Sometimes one kid's harder than 5 kids.
Right. Because you have to entertain that one kid. They don't have any siblings to play with.
Or some people are like, yeah, but you I don't know. Like everybody's experience is challenging.
Right.
That's all there is.
In some capacity.
In some capacity.
And I think it's up to us. Like, what if everyone could, instead of judging someone else's experience, put themselves in a scenario, where, well, what if I did have to be a single mom? Or what if, we were having these financial issues and, how would I want to be helped? Or how would I want somebody to come to me and say, what can I help you with? Or, so I think like we all share, even though we're all different, we all share like the same struggles. A lot of us do. And we just have to kind of do more like to help each other, especially us as women.
Yeah.
Like,
do you feel, okay, so I feel like as I've aged and grown in this life, I'm so much more aware of like what I need now in friendships and relationships and my dynamics with my children that I just did not know, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
And like it's really powerful. And I think to have an understanding of, for me, for example, I'm not like an easy processor of things. I don't know what it is. Like something happens. This is kind of a funny example of it. I was in Phoenix at a competition for my daughter, and I was walking across. It was very busy downtown Phoenix, and I was walking across the street, and this woman wasn't paying attention. She went to go make a right, and she almost hit me. And her response, she was in her car screaming at me, like, "What are you doing?" La, la. She was in the wrong. It was a mistake, and my response was, I froze. I was standing in the middle of the road, like, this woman nearly just hit me. I could have
Right.
died. I have 4 kids. How are they going to eat? Like, that was all going through my head while
Right.
she's also looking at me, screaming at me. And I looked at her and I was like, okay. And I backed up. And we just had a very different response to the same
Yes.
experience. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know this about myself. Like, I freeze. So when I get into like a fight with somebody or whatever, I go like, and I have to really process how I feel. And sometimes it takes me a few days.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know that about myself now. So now when I go into relationships, friendships or otherwise, I'm like, just so you know, this is how I deal with things.
Right. So you're like the more flight person versus the fight. Like you kind of have to like take off a little bit and back up and say, hey, like, let me think about this.
I'm like the freeze person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like I'm like frozen.
Yeah.
I'm very reactionary, which is why I think I choose to like freeze and then process. Yeah. Wow. But I know that about myself now.
Yeah.
Which it probably took me a good 20 years.
Right. Like, yeah. So you freeze and I internalize a lot. I will walk around and, you know, before you know it, I'll be, I don't know, in the bed and can't sleep because I'm thinking about, you know, this, what, you know, whatever it is that I'm trying to process for the day.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the internal struggle that I have, like sometimes I don't feel like nobody wants to hear XYZ.
Right.
You know, nobody wants me to like and when you're going through a situation, you don't always want to be the Debbie Downer or the person that's every time she comes around. And so I think sometimes like even as women, like even if you see somebody and you think they're doing well or okay, you have to just, if it's a friend or whatever, hey, like let's sit down, like let's talk. How are you really?
Yeah.
You know, what is it that I can maybe help with or whatever.
But I also think that energy isn't for everybody. Like you also don't want to be toxic positivity.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I do think that there's a balance in it. Is like, I think so. I'm not on social media right now, just by choice. I'm like really overwhelmed with the world.
Yeah.
Like even your algorithm, like it's curated to you, and my algorithm's like puppy videos and scriptures, and I even find it too much. Like it's like too many prayers, too many scriptures, too many dog videos. It's just a lot, and sometimes you just have to like sit back. So I do think too, like I think our circles have to get tighter, and like you can't trust everybody.
Right.
You can't trust everybody with your good news. Oh. I think that's the one thing that I've learned in like my career and in my life is like, not everybody wants you to win. And that's not to look at everybody like negatively, but it's like, okay, that information isn't for everybody, good, bad, or otherwise.
Right.
Like there's a very select few people. My one girlfriend kind of describes it in like circles. She's like, you've got like your core one or two people that you can be like, hey, I need to unpack this with you. And then you've got these people that are like, oh, we can have dinner together, but you don't know everything about me.
Right.
And then there's people like, we can all kick it.
Yeah.
But like, what's your name again?
Yeah. Right. Where did I meet you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I think it's discerning those relationships.
Yeah. On social media too, there's this big thing like I'm in my blank era. I'm in my soft era. I'm in my whatever. And I think like we all deserve a little bit of that. I mean, I don't think it shouldn't be just a saying like, oh, I'm in my soft era. It should be something that we're actually able to live.
Yeah. And what does it mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean to you? What is a soft era for you? Like
to me, having a soft era is just kind of going through life without a lot of complication, a lot of friction. You're kind of in an era where you're anything that doesn't give you that peace that you feel like you need to keep pushing is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move it out the way.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Well,
for
so
me.
we're coming up on the holidays, right?
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of pressure in our society. And I don't know who puts this on us if we do it to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But like to have the big dinner and to have all the family over and all the decorations and all the gifts and like
Mm-hmm.
how do you navigate that? Is that like a conversation? I'm more of an experience type person than
Mm-hmm.
a gift person.
Yeah. So one of the best holidays my family and I, to for me, that we ever spent was we went on a Disney cruise. We
Oh.
didn't put up a tree. We didn't
Mm.
give each other gifts. It was like 7 days of one of the best experiences that we had as a family. And I could do that every year and not give one or get one gift
Yeah.
because, like you said, it's more about an experience. And what are you going to remember? What's going to be a lasting like memory etched in your brain?
Yeah.
10 years down, is it going to be like the coat you got for Christmas, or is it going to be like a travel experience?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and I try to just go with the flow. I try not to get too stressed about gifts and dinner. Like usually my husband cooks anyway, Thanksgiving.
Winning.
But I just try to again, for me, like the holidays, I would love them to be just about the people
Yeah.
that you're connected with.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's enough for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I kind of I like low key holidays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big like holiday person. I Christmas I really love more like a big brunch than a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like to go to the movies with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of our tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Where we were living before, it would snow, so we would go sledding Christmas Eve,
Mm-hmm.
and then we play games. And
Mm-hmm.
then Christmas morning, it was like gifts and breakfast, and then a movie in the afternoon. Just like very very low key, simple.
Right, right,
And usually my gifts to my kids are like an experience. I like
right.
to do like movie passes or
Mm-hmm.
lessons for something
Mm-hmm.
or something to open, of course, but less about stuff. I'm not a
Right.
big stuff person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Stuff
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of stresses me out.
Yeah, yeah. So like moving forward, like because we are like approaching the end of the year, like what would you kind of navigate differently maybe in the upcoming year that you didn't necessarily do this year or years before to take care of your mental health and your physical health and your emotional side? Like what would you do differently?
I don't know if I'd do anything necessarily differently. I'd sort of like just maybe amplify what I do. And I think for me, it's like keeping things really simple. Like I love self-care Sunday. And it's just,
Mm.
I have a bath, I wash my hair. I have what my daughter calls an everything shower. You just really like you do your nails, you do your hair. I don't go and get my nails done. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just find that's more stressful to me. Just like book an appointment and spend the money and like be away from like to me,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I'd rather just do my own nails on Sunday. And it's like the way I don't know, manage
Right.
my
Your
time.
time. Yeah.
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 So like yeah, I like the routines of life.
Mm-hmm.
How about
Mm-hmm.
you?
I think next year I want to just work on being more aware of when I need to take a break, sit in silence, and just kind of decompress from it all.
Mm,
Like I think just having that awareness of when I'm approaching like the burnout phase or when whatever I'm working on, if I'm approaching just fatigue or if I feel like I'm going to be in survival mode, like I just need to like sit down. Sometimes you just need to sit and breathe and be in silence and not wait until like it becomes like an emergency.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So that's what I want to work on and just kind of like reframing my thought process surrounding what I consider a struggle versus what other people may be going through. Like,
mm,
I mean, it could definitely be worse.
yeah.
So I think
But that
just
doesn't negate how you're feeling.
Correct.
And I do
Correct.
think
Correct.
sometimes we have to be like, yes, I know it could be worse, but I'm feeling it right now.
Right.
And there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that.
Right. So I think like we sit in your sitting in my emotions, but also like reframing some of the thoughts that are recurring in my head and
Mm.
trying to turn like not everything has to be positive, but having some gratitude in the situations versus thinking about them in a negative way.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
We do, well, my kids always get mad at me, but on the way to school, we do gratitude check
Mm.
and we just go around the car and say 3 things we're grateful for,
Mm.
kind of in a round, one, 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 and then again. And it's really like Lincoln, my youngest, he's always like, with it, he'll be like grass, music, and football. But like, I'm like, I know it's a silly practice, but I really do like, I'm actually grateful today's kind of a cloudy day.
Yeah.
I slept in.
Yeah.
Like that was a nice.
And it rained last night.
Yeah,
like,
it was so nice.
I love listening to rain at night.
Yeah.
And I love the thunder. Like just being appreciative of
where you're at.
where you're at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything doesn't have to be loud to be appreciated.
Yes. That part. Like I do think, or we were talking right before we started too about like the invisible, what'd you call it? The invisible
workload, the invisible labor that a lot of us carry.
Yeah. Where it's like just the toilet paper magically appears
right
at your house. And all of those little things, like, again, I don't know where I was going with that. More just like being aware of the fact that it's all a process, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that had to do with gratitude. That's just a transition into the visible workload.
Right. I mean, and we carry a lot of it. And again, like we are here on this earth, not for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think just trying to appreciate those special moments, big or small, that we can carry on with our life and not get too weighed down with.
Sometimes do you kind of feel like an ant? Like kind of feel like an ant. Like all I do is like go from here and pick up this and fold it and I put it over here.
Or a worker bee.
A worker bee. Yeah, I just feel like everything is like a function. I'm like, how many times do I have to mop my floor to give me like the credibility of being a person? I don't know. It's just like, what is the point?
Yeah.
But then I don't want to live in a messy space.
Right.
But yeah, sometimes I just feel like I don't know what the term is, but like I just feel like redundancy maybe, and that's the monotony of it. Yeah, but that's where we have to find. So I had this Brando, my movie came out this year, and
which I watched, by the way. I love.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
We just watched it last week. We watched it on the Amazon or whatever. It came out.
That's sweet of you. Thank you. But it was really funny because we had like a premiere, and I know from my life and my career, we can have those like real highs, right? Like you do this movie and then 2 years later you get to like show up and do the premiere. And I remember my girlfriend came with me and she shot like a bunch of behind the scenes, and my other girlfriend came over and helped me get ready. And it was like a really fun, playful celebration of something that I got to, promote and whatever. And like the next day I was on a plane and I was doing laundry. And so it was like finding the little moments of joy and being like, oh, that's fun. That'll last me like a good month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like back to life, back to like picking the kids up and cooking and cleaning and trying to get my next job. That's a big part of my job. But yeah, finding those moments, whether it's a trip or like looking forward to like a friend's get together or us getting together to do the podcast and like finding the joy, the small joys.
Right. And one thing that I want to say about that is I think we're in a era where people are chasing the next endorphin.
Yeah.
The next thing that's going to bring them happiness.
Girl, let's talk about online dating. Because that is like I heard this one comedian's like human shopping on the internet.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like. So you can't really ever settle into one dynamic because as soon as it's like, oh, I don't know, he sneezed. Let me look for some other person or 5 other people.
Yeah. His feet smell like,
yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah. Right. And it is this, and it's the same thing. And that's, I think too, like the same thing with the algorithms of social media. It's like just this like constant hit.
Right. A constant endorphin hit.
Yeah.
Yes. Every time you get bored or we get bored or whatever, and we pick up our phone to get that next endorphin hit, and we put our phone down, and it's just like off to the next thing.
Yeah.
And so I think we get in a cycle of constantly chasing something that's not long term going to be attainable forever, every day of of the day,
Yeah.
every minute of the day. And so that's why I say, like, I want to be able to sit in stillness without having to chase, without having to think about the next thing, because that's how your mind gets settled and silenced. And
So what is that for you? Where do you find that? Like, is it literally sitting in stillness? Is it being in
it
nature?
can be in the car
Mm-hmm.
and turning off all the music. It can be writing. It can be, yeah, it can literally be sitting in my bed
Mm-hmm.
or on the couch for 10 minutes and just kind of closing my eyes, and having that awareness, or, meditating or prayer, but nothing else going on around me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah.
When I was in Tahiti shooting Brando, I remember
And that's an endorphin hit right there, Tahiti.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. And it's really interesting because again, you're kind of, this is my job, is like I love to quote Outcast. They say your only funk is your last hit. And it's true. Like you're really only as relevant as the last project you had. And which is not true, but from a societal and like a business perspective, it's like, well, what has she done lately? I've existed. I got up this morning.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Right.
And so it's finding that, like, who are you outside of your work, outside of being a mom? A couple summers ago, my sister was thinking about moving to Los Angeles, and because I had lived there for so long, I was like, "Ooh, let's get like an apartment together." We got an Airbnb for the summer, her and I, and in Beachwood Canyon in Hollywood. I hadn't lived in Hollywood since I was like 20, so it was really fun. And but my kids didn't come with me because they had camps and all these other things, so they stayed up in Washington, and I was bored. I was like, I have nobody to clean up after. I have nobody to drive anywhere. I have no laundry to do. I have nobody to cook for. It was very odd. And so it's like finding, oh, what do I want to do?
Right.
And it was like,
not for someone else,
not for someone else, and not for someone else to make me feel like I'm a person.
Right.
Yeah. And it was really kind of, I had a great time. We just went on long walks. I went to the beach. It was only like maybe 3 weeks, and then 2 of my kids came for a while, and then I went away. Anyways, so it wasn't like this extended period of time, but yes, finding out like who you are. So when we did this movie in Tahiti, we say this in the movie quite a few times. Like Brando says, the reason he loved Tahiti, he's like, it's the only place I've ever been that kind of makes you just stop and exist.
Right.
It's a small
There's
island.
no mall. There's no.
There was no gym.
There's no. Yeah.
There was no gym for me to just like, I'm going to be in Tahiti shooting a movie for a month. I need to go to a gym. I didn't. I went on long walks.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was just really like sitting and being with yourself. And sometimes this was the best part. We'd be like, our cast, we all stayed together and be like, oh, what do we want to do for dinner tonight? There was like maybe 3 restaurants, and sometimes they weren't open because the people were like, well, we went fishing.
Right.
So we're just not going to open today because we can.
Right.
You know, it's not about a bottom line. It's not about productivity. It's not so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody's looking at what the next person is doing. It's like, I'm heading down to the beach and I'm going to sit here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of relaxation.
And I'm not going to post it.
Ooh.
Because that's a big one.
That is huge.
Can you go somewhere? And I do this a lot because early on when social media was a big thing, it was like the clout, right?
Right.
People be like, oh, you should get pictures. You got to post pictures. And I'd be like, oh, dang, I forgot to take pictures with my friend that I went out for lunch for. Why do I have to take a picture? Or if I do, why do I have to post it?
Right. Right.
I just enjoyed
like
a time with my friend.
Everybody needs to know what we ate that night. Like, I think the
food,
world would be a better place if they knew that I had salmon for dinner last night, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like, why can't we just enjoy the moment without living in this facade of social media,
Yeah.
which is why re-social,
Yeah.
re-social media is, I think it's going to change the dynamic on all of that, because when we become a community versus
Yes.
self-driven, and we kind of come together as a community, then all of that stops. It's like, okay, well, what can I do to help you? What can you do to help?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Responsible social.
responsible social media.
I think that's really important instead of take, because even the endorphin hit is a take.
Yeah.
I remember, so I have this Charlie was when when you go to like a public pool when your kids are little, they have to like prove they can swim so they can go off the diving board.
Right.
So my kids could all swim because we had a pool, but sometimes we go to the public school pool. And so, they blow the whistle like every half an hour and the kids have to jump in and swim across the pool. And I remember watching Charlie. She was like maybe 3 or 4 and she was swimming, and her face like just increasingly got more stressed out. And she came over and she just swam over to me and she's like, I can't win. I was like, honey, you don't have to win. All you have to do is get to the other side. And I just think of that so often because I think so often we're like treading water thinking we have to win something. You got to post, you got to create, you got to, you could just exist.
Yeah.
You don't have to win everything.
Yeah. So I was listening to a podcast one day and they're like, if 21 people came up to you or 50 people and said, Alaina, your hair is beautiful today, you'll be like, wow, like a lot of people came and complimented me on my hair today. But if we get 50 social media likes,
it's not enough.
Only 50 people like my food or my hair or my outfit. And it just gets to the point where it's just like never enough. Or we get 50 and then we want 200.
Yeah.
And so I think it creates the moments where you just aren't appreciative of, just the everyday things, like the compliment or, the dinner with the friend. Like it has to be posted. So
and or like you were saying too, like earlier when you talked about your psychologist, like playing with your kids, like how often do we do but we don't kind of exist? Like I think it's really important to find, like, we all love game night. We love Uno in my family. We love Scrabble. I think that's probably my favorite game.
Okay, we need to play.
I'll bring some over Thanksgiving.
Yes, I love Scrabble
because we love.
Or Words with Friends. I love
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or what's the one? Watch your mouth with the big thing.
Yes.
We love that game. But actively like planning moments to like be together and play. Because so often in family dynamics we can. Oh, one thing I love, like, so I speak about this on stage a lot. So Supernatural now has been around for so long, and we're getting a lot of families that come to the events and they watch it together. And it's not just like moms and daughters. A lot of times it's dads and daughters. It's like their little bonding time that they get to get together and watch the show, and then they come together to the events. And it's like finding those moments where you can really connect with your kids over something they like.
Yeah.
And you didn't know you were going to like it.
Yeah. That's funny. Like on my daughter, she's at the age where she's into Roblox. And one of the Roblox games is Get Ready with Me. She, they dress up, they put on their outfits and their makeup, and she loves to play that with me. So one day I was just, she asked me to play, and I was like, well, I want to do it myself. Like I want to get my avatar dressed and everything. And it was so cute because after I did it, she was critiquing me on, well, that outfit just, like, and it was like kind of cute. Like, she's like, you're pretty not where I'm at on this game.
Right.
But it was fun. It was just fun, like doing something different. And with her that she likes to do that I've never done before.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I liked it.
I think so too. No, it's really fun. It's fun to like play and be. And I think, I remember like when my kids were little thinking like, it's okay to get on the floor and like make Legos with them. It's not okay. It's necessary.
Yeah.
Even,
Right.
So
the play part. Let's play more next year.
I like that. Okay. That's great. All
let's
that
play,
to say, let's play.
Let's
that's a great.
Play more.
I really like
all
that.
this to say.
Let's play.
Let's play.
Okay.
Let's play. Let's have fun.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Find your inner child.
And speaking of gratitude, we're going to be having Thanksgiving this year. So I'm excited to just, have friends and family to celebrate with and,
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
It's a break, right? I think that's the thing too about holidays, particularly Thanksgiving. It's in the name.
thanks.
Like we
Uh-huh.
can really just take this moment and be like, enjoy the 2 days that we have.
Hmm.
Maybe not think about Black Friday shopping.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
If it's not, somebody said, if it's not, if it didn't used to be $2,650 and it's now $5.50, then I'm not Black Friday.
Yeah.
Black Friday shopping, like I can, I
There's
mean,
always a sale.
there's going to be a sale. There's going to be a sale after Black Friday. There's going to be
Yeah.
Cyber Monday, and there's
Yeah.
going to be all these other things. So it's like people, it's funny that you say that about Black Friday because people celebrate Thanksgiving and then Black Friday comes and they're in the store fighting over a TV.
Yeah.
It's like you just gave thanks yesterday and now you're in Walmart fighting over a TV.
And you
that,
waited in line at 4 a.m. to get in
right.
there.
Yeah.
It's wild. I know.
So yeah, so I think if I could take anything from this, I would say next year sitting in silence, having more gratitude, having more thanks, and whatever comes out of that, I think it's
And
gonna
play.
be, yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love it. Well, thank you so much,
Thank
girl. This was
you.
great. It was a good convo. I needed this.
Me too.
I needed this, and I hope like the people out there watching could, I mean, if you took anything from this, I wanted you to tell us like what you took from this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what you need.
Hey girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey girl. All right.